investor. This is Eric Mwade. I wanted to ask you a question. While you're looking at charts and while you're trading, do you ever consider the 50 crossing of the RSI on any time frame? Let's say on the daily. Do you ever consider what happens to the stocks you own or to the stocks you want to own when the RSI on the daily, on the hourly, on the weekly, on the monthly moves above or below 50? All right, let's take a look at today's action. Today we are looking at the Nasdaq down about 1.72% right now. We don't know where it's going to close, but I'd like to share with you what happens whenever stocks move above or below the threshold of 50 on any time frame. Now, if we take a look at the Dow daily or the Nasdaq daily, you'll notice today the Nasdaq is down a significant amount. Why? Because the RSI is moving below 50. If this RSI is moving below 50, having closed above 50 yesterday, this is going to suggest that you're going to have a significant down day into the close, most likely. Now, this is true whenever markets are also moving higher. For example, take a look at the beginning of 2013. You get this sharp move above 50. Take a look at this sharp move in the market here. Just an example. Once you understand how the RSI is calculated, then it makes sense that markets move significantly when they move above or below that 50 threshold. Let's take a look at another idea here. Yesterday, the S&P 500 saw a big down close. Why? Because it moved its RSI below 50 there. If you take a look at the Dow, which has been in the current market leading the markets lower, the Dow had a big down day when it moved its RSI below 50 there, which corresponds to this big multiple day down drop. Okay, let's take a look at, also notice how the Dow had a big beginning to 2013 as it slashed above the 50 day on the daily RSI. Take a look at another example here. We are watching one of the best movers of 2013, Tesla, down about 7 points today. The day is not over and it's getting very close to 50. So let's say if you own this stock, you always have to be careful, because if this thing slashes below 50 on the daily RSI, you're gonna get another washout. Also would be a trend break of this RSI support line. So if you are long the name, you have to be very careful here, because slashing below that blue line, which is the lows of the RSI, and slashing below 50 on the daily RSI could suggest another big down day. For today also, notice how another big cap stock, one of the bigger movers of 2013, LNKD, down 16 points. Why? Because it's moving its RSI below 50 today. So today is not a good day to buy these stocks because they are moving below 50. And also notice this one broke a trend break. If you take the lows on the daily RSI, and then also this trend was broken and also moving below 50, then you get this reason, or the mathematical reason, for this big down drop here. This can be avoided if you understand how to read the RSI. If you take a look at Bank of America, which already had dropped, and the biggest drop below the 50-day moving average was there, which also happens to be a drop below the RSI 50. Take a look at another name in today's market. Let's take a look at Facebook. Facebook is having one of its biggest down days lately, down about 3 points or 6%. Actually right now, trading at about 6% lower. Why? Because it's getting very close to slashing below 50. So I would not want to buy it here, just because I know there's a more downside in case it slashes below 50 here. Also notice that the stock is breaking this RSI short-term trend support, so sell point there. Possibility of moving below 50 could suggest even further price erosion down the road. On this chart, I can also see that in November the stock had big moves here as it moved above 50, which is this gap up here. Another big move above 50, which is this multiple point rally here. And every time you see the stock move above 50, there's big move, even though there's a slight jump there in price when the stock eventually broke out of this RSI top lines range. But for now in this market, we are noticing that stocks are moving lower as they slash below 50 on the daily RSI. Take a look at another example. One of the winners of 2013 broke down below 50 here, which happens to be this mega drop here. So be careful for stocks that are breaking below 50. There was another break below 50 here, which happens to be the highs there. Another break below 50 here, which also happens to be that RSI high. And on this one, you can see what happened here. One thing you can also note, and I try and teach this, is you draw a trend line. Once a stock breaks that trend line, which is a sell point there, which happens to be this sell point here, you take a line on that break point like this. You draw a line. So every time you stall at that level, the previous stall point, that becomes a sell point there. You stall close to that level there, that becomes another high to get out or to sell the stock short. You stall again here with what I call uniform activity. You went up and back below it almost in an inverted U-type formation. That becomes a sell signal. So the RSI telling you lots of information, because RSI is a good measure of sentiment and prices follow after that. Take a look at another one that has been doing well recently, and this one is right now we see it stalling to hold support there, a failed breakout, and getting very close to slashing below 50 here. So even this 11% move could worsen as the day goes, because a move and a close below 50 is gonna guarantee further movement whenever that slash below 50 takes place. Let's take a look at another example here. One of the winners of 2013. This stock has done very well this year, but now we see it breaking this RSI trend line there and also slashing below 50 on the daily RSI. That guarantees a big down day and a trend break. This could be the beginning of much lower prices. Take a look at one more here. It is for Pandora. Notice Pandora is down about 7%. Why? Because it's now below 50 on the daily RSI. Very simple there. And also notice that seems to be another red flag, a failed breakout there. Failed breakouts are notorious for pushing stocks lower. Let's take a look at one more, and it is for another winner for 2013. This stock is down almost 15-16% today. Why? Because it's moving its RSI below 50 on the daily time frame, and there's a mathematical reason why stocks have to shed a lot of points when they slash below the 50. And also we see that this stock is slashing below a trend line support. So this red line being broken connects the lows on the daily RSI. So a break of that trend line moving below 50 there. This is why the stock is down almost 15-16% and the day is not over. So what I would like you guys to rethink is how you look at the RSI, especially on all time frames. When stocks are moving below or above 50, be careful. And the other levels to watch are when stocks are moving below or above 69.10. That's another key level to watch. 69.10. It's another very important level to watch. And also another important level to watch is 30.90. Now I teach this on my YouTube videos. If you have a question, just get a hold of me, contact me, and I can explain things further. But this is what moves markets. Eric Mwathe, good luck, peace, and blessings.